Welcome everyone to Practical Shooting After Dark. Joining us today from Omaha, Mr. Joel.
Hello.
Joel Park, is there another podcast that you're on to promote while you're on here?
I am on another podcast. It's the Shoot Fast podcast with my friend Cody Axon. And it's a weekly podcast, and let's talk about shooting stuff.
Amazing. This is the Shoot Medium Speed podcast. Anyway, Jeffy from Edmonton, say hello. And from Montreal, Mr. Alex.
Yes.
National
What's up?
champion of the Great White North.
Come on. You know,
What?
it's not that much.
Third year in a row?
Third in a row.
Year. I'm losing count.
Oh, shit.
Building that dynasty, bro. Gotta watch out for that. You whatever. All right. Who'd like to start today? You guys know the rules. Everybody comes with a topic, something that triggers you, annoys you, upsets you, something like that. This week in shooting, something you've been working on this week, or a show and tell where you have a prop, an item, and you describe it for the audio listeners, and then hold it up to your webcam for the people actually watching the video rip of this on YouTube, which makes no sense to me, but some people do it. Who'd like to go?
I can go first.
Mr. Jeff. Always a volunteer.
All right. So I'm holding up a hat.
An IPSC Alberta hat. I have several of them.
Yes. The hat has a camera on it, and it's a GoPro Session, and it's mounted right on the brim, and I cut a hole through it, and it's held in place with a mainspring housing pin.
Oh,
So,
I did the same thing with my GoPro on my hat.
wonder where I got the idea from.
So do I.
So I've been using this for, I'd say, the last year and a half, and really been actually reviewing footage from it in the last year. And at first I thought it's kind of a novelty thing. It's kind of neat to put on social media, on Instagram, on Facebook, just to show people what shooting looks like from that first-person shooter type of point of view.
Impress your friends.
Yeah, exactly. But the more I actually look at the video footage and I combine it and splice it with third-person camera footage, I find it's actually fairly useful for seeing what I'm doing and reviewing after the fact. So I'm enjoying that, and it's kind of cool seeing where the gun's moving, how long the gun is dwelling at a certain target, how hard I'm aiming at targets, and how to improve things based on that information.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have a GoPro as well, and I think I have it for different reasons. It's mostly mostly to show stages to other people. It's not super useful for review, but I guess it's okay to have, right? It's not a bad thing. You have a hat cam as well, Alex?
I do. I put it on my muff, but I don't know. It's kind of chunky, so I'm thinking about putting it on my hat too. But at the same time as you, like for me, third person is more useful to see movements and stuff, positioning. But actually, when you started putting the head cam on your hat, Ben, and putting video online, I don't know, there's something that you don't see with third person view, which is how soon you start shooting and transitions and stuff. That was a high opener for me, actually, to just see how aggressive you drive the gun, how it floats, and how relaxed you stay, but how soon you start shooting. And that you see it. I mean, you lift the gun up and you aim at a target coming into position, but it's not as obvious with the third person view as it is with the first person view.
Well, the content that is coming for the training group, the practical shooting training group that I'm working on with Kim, that has a lot of the first person footage. And there's some of the content in there. It's like I have a 4-minute video or 3-minute video of a match I shoot some fucking place, doesn't really matter. And then I have first person video, third person video, and like some of the stuff, it's like I'll just sit and talk about everything I'm seeing on the whole video and like highlight different pieces using other software that we have. And I think that ends up being quite useful and interesting for people just to have the first person view. So I'm like, I'm going to shoot this popper and then shoot this target and then shoot this swinger. Like that is the first person camera view is quite useful for that, just to be talking about stuff. But as far as me reviewing my own shooting, I guess it's not super interesting. It's okay. It's kind of you get a neat video sometimes. So yeah, Jeff, that was a good idea to cut the hat up and put the camera on it. Well done, sir. Somebody on Instagram saw my hat cam and they're like, "You need a sidekick mount." And I was like, "No, I don't."
I saw that.
What the fuck?
Doesn't need to
No,
be fancy.
no, I do not. I do not need the bullshit you're trying to sell me.
Cutting a hole accomplishes the same thing for no cost.
And it's not even about the cost. It's like, no, I don't need it. Damn it. I do like the GoPros a lot in that it integrates with my phone really well, so I can see a live preview of what's happening in the GoPro on my phone, which I really like. That is pretty cool. I don't know if there's,
Yeah.
I don't know what else, if it really matters any of the other features.
Well, I
Can
mean,
you
the session
control
is
it?
really like.
What's
Can
that?
you control it from your watch?
My watch? I haven't tried. I don't know if there's a GoPro app for my watch or that integrates with my watch. Maybe.
It's an Apple Watch. There probably is.
There probably is, but you can that my GoPro is voice activated too if I want it to be.
It's true. Yeah.
But nothing really beats like hit the button and turn it on and then hit the button to turn it off. That's hard to beat in terms of simplicity and reliability. But it is cool to have my watch, do its thing. So whatever. All right, I want to go next, guys. That sound good?
Yep.
I have in my hot little hands some Oakley frames with some lenses on them. So these particular lenses are Prism Golf lenses, which kind of shade things to give you a really high contrast with green. It's designed for golfing, but that's not really what I want to talk about. Instead, I've been experimenting this year with lots of different lenses. So somebody like the Hunter's Gold people, have you guys heard about that? Hunter's Gold? No? So it's like a glasses company. Obviously, they specialize in hunting. They sent me some really heavily tinted yellow glasses
Okay.
for me to try. And, they asked what I wanted. So obviously, I went with aviators. So I put some pictures on Instagram of me wearing these yellow tinted aviators, and I got my hair really long. I
Oh,
look
man.
like I'm driving around in a van that says free candy on the side. You know what I mean?
I was thinking Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski is the way I was thinking, but
Yeah, it's not a good look, but at the same time, it's an awesome look. It's pretty funny. But by sending me those lenses, I put them on and I was like, fuck me. Like I have super high contrast. My fiber's not really blown out. I shoot a green fiber and normally it blows out in bright sunlight. So what I've been doing, and I think you guys know me well enough, you all know that I dull out my front fiber with a Sharpie. So in that way, I've never worn expensive glasses for shooting, at least not in the last 10 years, not really. So I wear cheapo glasses that I can get at a gas station. The lenses look like shit, because I'm good at losing things. Not very responsible when it comes to expensive crap like sunglasses or phones. I have a pretty bad track record with that. So I've just worn crappy glasses, and then I've dulled my fiber with a Sharpie along the top so it doesn't pick up as much light. This year, I decided, once I got these glasses, I put them on, I wore them, I'm like, oh, these are kind of interesting. Like I feel like I'm getting a lot of contrast with the front sight, so it's like, fuck it, I'll put in a bright fiber and just leave it. Or maybe I had to change fiber and I noticed it was bright. And I was like, oh, well, we'll just leave it. So what I ended up doing is buying a lot of different lenses. So I have like grayed out Prism lenses on metal frames. I have a couple of these frames with Prism Golf lenses. I have some stuff with its other brands. I have the Hunter's Gold yellow pedo lenses that I have. And I've been experimenting shooting target focused all the time with bright fiber. Which, Joel, you've been talking to me about this a lot.
yes.
So I think your first question for me was like, hey, when do you shoot target focused? Right?
Yeah, you said you were doing it all the time.
Yeah, and by all the time, I mean 50 yards. Yep, target focused. Looking at the target, seeing the bright fiber in the center of the target, like, cool, we're good to go, send it. Like, by target focused all the time, I mean target focused all the time. All the time. Which has been very interesting. So I've been experimenting with lenses that kind of cut the glare off the fiber so I can use a bright fiber and thus shoot target focused all the time. And it's been a very interesting experiment for me. I've been doing it heavily, I think 6 weeks, 8 weeks, something like that. That's what I've been doing. So what do you guys think about that?
Have you seen a speed gain? So if I give you something like a distance change up, and you do it the way you do it before, maybe where you shift your focus to the, like a more precise sight focus, shooting those headshots, or you stick it to just target focus the whole time. What are you seeing for a time difference, or is it convenience, or what's your takeaway?
Cold runs, I feel faster. My shot, in a weird way, my shot calling is actually a lot better, especially on longer shots. It's way better. So with both, I just keep both eyes open. I'm looking right at the target. I watch how the bright fiber moves, so that's telling me where everything's going. I'm rarely wrong. And I feel faster, but I feel way more precise on the longer stuff, which sounds crazy, but
Does sound crazy.
yeah, it feels way more precise to me. Just because I have a really good sense of where it is, and then I see what the sights are doing, and it's like, yep, I know right where everything's going.
So it's not necessarily faster,
I don't
but
think
you're
so.
more accurate.
I think so. I don't think I'm any faster. Not
So
in
is there
practical
any-
settings.
Is there any situation in this new paradigm of yours now that you would still use a front sight focus or switch back to a front sight focus?
I haven't discovered one.
Okay.
And even in awkward situations where you think you would change. So for example, if I'm leaning around something and I'm forced to pull my arms in a little bit and disrupt my upper body position, normally I'd think like, oh, well, I'll just get on the sights really hard, close an eye, and make sure that I, see the sight alignment really well by just keeping both eyes open, like popped wide open and looking at the targets. Like that helps me have a really good sense of the sight's position relative to the target, in 3 dimensions. I understand where everything is better, like really intuitively. I guess you'd say kinesthetic awareness and proprioception. Are these the nerd terms? Alex, am I right on that?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So like everything feels right with that. So even in circumstances where normally I would sort of bitch up and get a really hard front sight focus by just like, nope, I'm just gonna target focus everything. I don't give a shit. It's been helpful, and I've shot I don't know 3-4 matches club level, but nothing big. But I've shot 3 or 4 club matches shooting target focused all the way, and the results have been, better than normal. As I would say, it's hard to really tell at little matches, but everything feels good. So it's been an interesting experiment. So I reckon that's the way I'll be doing it from now on.
What made you decide to start trying that?
A
there some-
combination of looking, always, experimenting, boredom, and wanting to go faster, I guess.
Okay.
Well, I guess a big part of it was like shooting a little bit of with a limited gun too, where it's like, no, I can eat C's. Like I'm going to eat C's for sure, so I might as well shoot target focus more and more often. And now it's like, I don't even give a shit how far away the target is. Like I don't see any incentive not to shoot target focused. And one thing I will say about the way my eyes are is if it's a really bright front, fiber, which is on all my guns now, I can't focus on the front sight anyway. Like I can't do it. In bright sunlight, I can close an eye or do whatever. Like the fiber still blows out a little bit. It's like blooms the light from it, and I can't get a hard front sight focus anyway. So it's pointless to even try.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a pretty interesting experiment. Just look at the target and shoot. I have to say, like, shooting with Kim for a few, like a week and a half or whatever, he was like floored by it. He couldn't believe it. He's like, what the fuck? But that's fun, right? That's good.
Yes.
What do you think about that, Alex?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows that I aim too much. So when people ask me like the target focus, I mean, I close an eye when I shoot, and I just can't shoot both eyes open. So it's something I realized that I'm never sure exactly if I target focus or frontside focus. There's most of the times I'll just see everything equally blurry. So I guess like I don't know. Shooting target focus is definitely faster, but I don't know. And I think it's a good thing to try it out, and
Yeah.
definitely faster than frontside focus.
Well, who has seen my match footage from this year?
I think we've all seen it.
Have you seen it, Alex?
Yeah, I think so. Your
No.
match footage?
Yeah. All of it?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
what,
I've
all
seen
right.
some of them.
So what's your early impression of that, Jeff?
Well, I got to see you do this in person, and like it looks like you're throwing shots without aiming. That's what it looks like. I mean, clearly, if you're hitting shit, then you are aiming, and I think that's really all that needs to be said, right? You're throwing shots out. I think you're hitting poppers out at mini popper out at 25, 30 yards, and it's a quick transition, doing distance change up kind of thing, and where traditionally anyone would have a hard frontside focus, you were quicker than I've seen you ever on a target like that. So
Yeah, and I feel really comfortable shooting on the move, especially with a limited gun where it's like, I don't give a shit about Charlie's. Like, fuck it. Like, just shoot. And in a weird way, I end up shooting less points down than I otherwise would because I'm not trying to aim real hard. I just like center the gun and start shooting. So it's been weird, but good.
It's definitely faster on those partial targets.
Oh
Like
yeah.
you're shooting those partial targets on the move, and just like quack quack, and it's like shit. Okay.
Oh well, if you're watching a footage of a limited gun,
Yeah,
me
yeah, yeah.
shooting like shooting alphas is not even a goal. Like I don't care.
No, it's just the brown.
Yeah, I just shoot at the center of the brown. I don't give a shit about shooting alphas.
No,
Like
it's not.
shooting major, that is.
Yep.
I've actually been trying to push down my points percentage as low as I can get it, which sounds weird. But shooting limited, like this
It's
is
hard.
Gaskin's theory, is push your points percentage down as like so like you're gonna shoot accurately and center the gun and go and shoot, but you shoot aggressively enough that your points starts to drop. And it's like I can't get my points. I think 96 is the lowest I've managed to push it with attempting to shoot aggressively.
But I
Because
think
it's like so hardwired into me. Like that discipline is wired into me real hard.
yeah, that's what I didn't like shooting limited
Yeah.
because I was shooting the same amount of alphas. It was just like I can't just be shooting at the brown target.
No, but you have to.
I know I have to, especially on those far targets. It's just you just squeeze twice and you're gonna get like alpha Charlie or whatever or two Charlies
Yes,
and
exactly.
it's
Send
fine
it.
because you're gonna
Yes.
shoot twice as fast.
It does not matter. Like the
No,
Charlies are not really relevant shooting major.
like you can shoot a long course and have like 11 Charlies and like 20 alphas, and it's good.
Yeah, depending
But
on the stage, yeah, it's usually pretty good.
yeah, well, I mean, if it's a hosing stage,
Hmm.
it's just
Yeah, but
doesn't.
for you, for a hose, like if you get a hosing stage down to, if you actually forced yourself to shoot 11 Charlies on one, like I don't think you could do it if you wanted to. I haven't been able to do it yet.
No.
You know what I mean? Like trying to shoot like a prick, and I can't do it. Like I don't really have that level of recklessness or that hose gear. I just don't have it. I'm working on it, but it's been it. I mean, that's fun. And then when I shoot production, it's like I spend the time I think is appropriate to get A's, and I feel very controlled, like super controlled.
Yeah, like
So I've
it's
been
almost slow motion.
Yeah, in a weird, I know this is crazy. Like this is not stuff I'm telling people to do. Like target focus all the time and shoot limited and shoot production. Like I shoot one match in limited, then the next match production, then limited, then production. It's weird. Like that's not something I would tell people to do. But it's fun. Like I'm having a good
I
time
mean,
learning a
why
lot.
not? It's
Why
the same
not?
platform.
Because it's close, but yeah, it's why not? Because it's ridiculous. It's preposterous to change gear all the time.
Yeah, but at some point, I can see like changing division on the off season just for the sake of having
I,
fun with something else.
dude, I change division on the daily.
Yeah, no, I know.
Like I
Dude,
shoot
okay,
part
it's
of my
different.
practice session with one set of gear, then I take that off and put on different gear and then shoot with that. I've done some practice sessions with 3 different guns, with 3 different holsters, like 3 different belts, 3 different guns. Like that's a bit odd. I would not tell people to do that.
It's just so much gear to go with to the range.
Well, my truck's full of gear, it's fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I was talking about was glasses. So experimenting with glasses has been interesting and useful for me. So I wouldn't tell people again. I wouldn't tell you to go out buy the Hunter's Gold Peto lenses and like 3 different Oakley frames with lenses. Like I'm not saying do that, but maybe try it out a little bit. I do really like having proper glasses for a change. Like, whoa, they are baller. Like having nice glasses that don't distort everything and things are clear and the sun's not, beating me down. Like that's a nice thing. So yeah, who's next?
I guess I can go.
Yeah, you can.
So, I mean, I haven't been to the show for a while, and summer is already done. It's been a pretty crazy summer, I would say. A lot of training, a lot of big matches. Shot the Pan American in Jamaica, Nationals in Winnipeg, and now I just shot the Quebec Provincials last weekend. And it was very like Pan American and Nationals, like Jeff said on a previous episode, was very like USPSA style, which is pretty odd for a NIPSC match. But the Quebec Provincials we just had was like totally the straight opposite of it. It was, I think, the highest stage in 12 stages, the highest hit factor was like 6.6. And it was like 3 to 4 hit factor most of the time. And it was actually, that's the kind of match I really like. And I did pretty good at it. So a lot of long distance shots, some timing, a lot of running and activating doors and stuff like that. That shit drags the hit factor down. So otherwise, in my training, which is funny, is I am actually working on totally all Holzer stuff now. So I'm shooting like stupid stuff like Alprez, like hill drills, like very cool stuff.
Since when is
just-
Alprez stupid, man?
No, it's just that I'm so used to train on hard stuff, putting targets far away,
Yeah.
and tight partials, that now I actually suck at close stuff. So it's funny how we usually don't recommend newer shooters and like B-class shooters to only train on classifier stuff. But at my point, this is stuff I need to work on because I suck at it.
Well, yeah, relative to where you want to be. Like, if we say,
Yeah.
hey, Alex, the hit factor is going to be 10 on this stage, you're like, fuck.
Yeah, well, yeah, this is totally outside of my comfort zone. I mean, I can pull it off. I still won the nationals, but like, it's still I wanted to do better still. So it's just it never ends, man.
No, it never does. Never.
So yeah, it's been a crazy summer. I learned a lot, and I'm still working on it. My season right now is pretty much over. I think my only match left is the USPSA Nationals
Yeah.
this October. So I'm gonna be shredding on those close stuff.
I don't know if
shooting
it's
on the
going to
move.
be as hosiery as you might think down in Florida.
There's still, yeah, I know. In Frostproof, they do things different, but yeah, probably they're gonna have like a slider with no shoots on it.
Yeah,
at
they're
20
going to
yards.
fuck you up. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. But still, it's the stuff I've been working on and learning a lot lately. A lot of shooting on the move too. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, I got the same glasses as you actually, because
Oh, you did?
I had lost my. Yeah, I just bought these like last week, but these are the Oakley radar with the trail lens.
Oh, you went Prism Trail.
Prism trail. Just because I had lost my other pair of glasses at the range, and I was like, "Holy shit! Nationals like next week." I had to buy a new pair of glasses, so I just bought these. I actually like them better than my previous ones.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
seeing their nice clean presentation as far as like the way
Oh
they let
fuck!
light through.
Actually, yeah, they are outstanding when it's cloudy outside. So it's gonna be like super cloudy, and you just put them on, and all of a sudden everything looks like bright. Contrast is good. It's just, and after wearing them for 5 minutes, you just don't realize you have them on your face, and when you take them off, shit, life looks fucking plain. So yeah, life is boring unless you wear those Oakley Prism glasses.
Makes sense to me. All right, who's left, guys?
Me.
Joel, man.
Joel.
All right.
He's our
As-
Huckleberry.
yeah. This week in shooting, or maybe this summer in shooting, I've kind of I feel like I've leveled up a little bit this year, and that hasn't happened for me for a while, or at least in a way that I could notice.
I didn't want to
really
say
tell.
anything, but yeah, you've been getting a lot better.
I feel like it. So I've been trying to really think really hard about why that is, or what I need to continue to do. And the biggest thing I can think of is that I've just stopped trying so hard. And when I say that, I don't mean putting any less effort into it, but maybe expecting an outcome or trying to force an outcome, as opposed to just knowing that I practice, knowing I have the ability, and then just performing what I know how to do. I don't think that's even like a classification dependent. I was talking to a friend of mine who's like C class, and he's going through the same thing. What he was talking about, he was doing is like, well, I'm just not. He's not getting what he wants for result. I'm like, you're trying too hard. 'Cause he's doing the same thing I am. Like I dry fire every day. I go to the range once or twice a week, shooting 1,000 rounds a week, dry firing every day. So the amount of effort I'm putting in now isn't any less, more, or different than what I was doing last year. So by not trying,
Wait. What's
Go
this?
ahead.
This C class guy's putting in that level of effort?
Not quite that much, but he's trying to force an outcome.
Well, dude, putting in effort and being in C class should not be like these are opposed things. You know what I mean?
He's getting better. He will not be in C class for long.
Why are you guys laughing? I'm just saying. It's fucking.
No,
People
well,
who put in
he-
effort don't stay in C class for long, typically.
That's what I'm saying. He won't be in C class for long. We
Yeah.
all start at the same place, dude.
Exactly. So
right.
he's just not getting out of C class fast enough or something like that.
Yeah, he wants to do better than he is, which is no different than where I was.
That's
So I go
no
to a
different
match.
than don't we all want to do better than we do?
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying it's not classification dependent. So I'd go to a match like, hey, there's no one here that can beat me. I'm going to be the guy to beat this. And I go there like, I just expect to win. I expect to smash those stages. Like these are all going to be Instagram runs. And instead, if I would have just shot like how I know how to shoot and not try to force it, I would have done better. So it's just me learning. And I don't, you probably could have had the same conversation with me a year ago. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm going to keep going hard. And maybe I had to figure it out for myself, but for what it's worth, not trying to force it and just letting it happen has been very good for me this year. So
Who is it? I think Manny told me that the best shooting you do is when you don't care.
Yeah, no pressure, man.
Yeah, just noodle on that. Like if you just don't care and you just shoot, like, you know, that's the best you're gonna do.
yeah, like if you zeroed a stage, or if you had some, like you get halfway through a match and you have some train wreck stage, and after that it's like whatever, I'm just gonna shoot. And then it turns out like you do so much better. And so that was just because, yeah, the pressure's off. You're just shooting. It's just
That's a fairly common phenomenon on the Super Squad, actually.
yeah.
Like half the squad's like, oh, I'm out of it. After the first day, they're like, I'm out, I can't. And then like a few guys will like, not caring will be so good for them. By the end of day 3, it's like they've climbed way back up the results.
Yeah, just doing what you know how to do without forcing it.
Yeah.
Wish
So
I would
way
have
to
known
be.
that sooner. Yeah.
It's not an easy thing.
No. For my shooting, though, I think it's been very beneficial. So,
Of course. Well, a good message there. Gentlemen, I don't think we have time for questions right now because I have things to do. So thank you so much for coming on, Joel, Alex, and Jeff. I appreciate it a lot. Listeners, if you have questions that you want me to not have time to answer, go to benstoker.com. Send me your questions. I would love to hear from you. Man, Jesus.